What's up, my lovelies? We're going to do some shadow work. So, shadow work is something that we do in order to incorporate the parts of ourselves that we keep hidden with the parts of ourselves that the rest of the world sees and knows. When we integrate both of those pieces of us, we become our most genuine, authentic version of ourselves, which is the reason why we do shadow work. So we're going to use a couple of different decks. Both of these are tandem decks, so they're two-part decks. The first one is called Conversations with Your Inner Self. We have the parts that are triggering to us and the parts that are how we heal or how we integrate. The other one is called the Tarot of Light and Shadow, and same thing, it has a dark and a light side. So what are the triggers this week? Admiration. What traits do you admire in others? And could these be disowned aspects of yourself? Anger. How do you cope with your anger? Self-pressure. When are you the hardest on yourself? Censorship. What causes you to conceal or censor yourself? And holding on. What are you holding on to that still hurts you deeply? Sounds like we have some letting go that we need to do. How do we integrate? Signs. What signs let you know your shadow self is present? Celebration. How can you celebrate yourself? On your deathbed. Imagine you're on your deathbed, and while laying in bed, your parents walk in. What are the last things that you say to them? Protection. In what ways has your shadow self protected you? And understanding. How can you use your shadow self to deepen your understanding of others? Remember, your shadow is the unhealed aspects. We typically will see parts of ourself or versions of ourself in others, especially if they trigger us. All right. What do we need to see from our shadow self, Spirit? What is hidden from us that we need to acknowledge and bring to light this week? What's going on? Ooh, King of Cups. Okay. In the shadow, he is probably my least favorite. When he's in the light side or the upright, he is probably my favorite, him and the Emperor. So he's normally very nurturing, but in this, he can be possessive, he can be controlling, he can be narcissistic, he can be hurtful, he can be violent, he can be a lot of things that are really negative because he's unhealed. So it looks like there could be some trouble in paradise in a relationship. I do feel like there's the potential for there to be an ending with a relationship, with a marriage, with a long-standing commitment, right? We're ready to close that cycle, but it's not over yet. They're telling me until the fat lady sings. I feel like with the Nine of Pentacles, there's money struggles. There could be some deception around finances. I feel like somebody's hanging on for dear life, trying to just stay afloat, and they're really burnt out. This is a toxic cycle that I feel like is repeated a lot. I feel like there is this hope that there's new love around the corner, but I don't feel like you see it yet because this isn't closed out. So the indecision is blocking your forward progress. You have to make a decision. Do you stay in an unhealthy, toxic cycle, relationship, or do you set yourself free? There's hesitation here. The question is why? What is the hesitation? There's conflicts, there's chaos. We want to find peace, right? Love shouldn't hurt. That's something that's coming through. So I feel like all of this is going to be, they're telling me it like somebody's about to air the dirty laundry. So the secrets are coming to light. Any sort of deception, trickery, things that are hidden are about to be revealed because the moon shows us that it's being illuminated. Okay. What do we need to do to integrate and find the balance in this situation, Spirit? Thank you. Okay, Nine of Coins. So I feel like finances, I feel like this masculine energy, the King of Cups, is the one that's struggling financially. He's trying to pick up the pieces. He's trying to even things out, but I feel like he made some bad choices. He's working towards abundance. He wants marriage and commitment, but I feel like the other person is wanting to call it quits. Yeah. The female energy in this is in the divine energy. The Empress energy is the divine feminine. I feel like she's ready to close out a cycle because she's evolved, right? The Knight of Coins would tell us that we need to plan or set some goals for the future. This person's not doing so well financially right now. I feel like they're kind of drowning in debt. The Knight of Serpents tells us that there's good news coming about finances or work. They might be getting a new job offer. I do feel like that could help this person, but it might cause them to have to move, travel, or relocate. So some decisions need to be made. I feel like both people need to communicate how they're feeling, and I feel like there's not much of that going on at the moment, right? That would help restore the balance. I feel like you need to communicate. I feel like we need to talk about money. I feel like we need to talk about like inequality in maybe delegation of responsibilities around the home, work, things like that. Finances, we need to address the issue there. I do feel like there's a lot of lack mentality going on. And again, Two of Swords, we need to make that decision. The indecision is blocking you from moving forward on both sides. So there has to be some sort of truth or clarity shed in this in order to decide which direction to go, right? That's how you restore the balance. I do feel like there is an ending. It could transpire through the courts. Two of Cups in the shadow with Justice. I think there's going to be an ending, and that's what helps restore the balance here. I do think there's some people that are watching. So again, I feel like there's like some sort of public stuff that's going to happen, like the dirty laundry being aired out publicly in some way, shape, or form, like the secrets are being revealed, just how bad this actually is. And the Fool in the shadow tells us that we've taken a wrong step somewhere, that maybe we've fallen off where we need to be. I do feel like there is this gossipy energy. So maybe there's people that are airing your personal business out there. I do feel like people are somehow watching or spying on you. Page of Coins. It's time to start planning or setting some goals for the future, right? We don't want to ever end up in the conflict and chaos that we find ourselves in again. We want to make wise choices. So I feel like you need almost like a cooling off period once you decide what you want to do going forward. And once all of this kind of comes to light about these people, this love connection, I do feel like it kind of helps to clear the air. Some of you might also be getting married. We do have Justice out here. The Ten of Cups is your happily ever after. Spirit's telling me if you drop the 0, you might find your hero. Okay. One more, Spirit. What else? Ooh, the Stars. Could be a wish fulfillment for you. You might be in the public eye in some way, shape, or form. That might also be what happens, like something publicly changes. Maybe there's like a wedding announcement, an engagement announcement. It might be public in that regard, and you might have to need some boundaries. You might need to have, there we go, some boundaries, right? I feel like some of this is not supposed to be public, that you need to keep some things quiet till your manifestations or your wish fulfillment comes in. Let's get you some charms. Okay, Spirit. Ooh, someone's going to bite the bullet, okay? They're going to have to make a choice about what they want going forward. Letter B could be significant. Tooth Fairy, little wish fulfillment maybe coming in. Spirit doesn't want you to lose hope. They want you to keep hope alive, that Spirit will coordinate. You could have an ex that resurfaces. Don't shoot the messenger. We got a lot of retrogrades going on right now. If past things, people, or situations come up for review, decide what you want. There's lots of indecision in the reading. It's time to transform. We can't stay stuck in limbo forever. I feel like you've been very stubborn about something. Somebody might be a hunter. I also feel like this person, they're telling me mating season. So there could be like fighting for territory, fighting for the person that they want. I do feel like you're about to evolve, right? Dragonflies are all about things coming to light. We have the moon here, so something's going to be illuminated. Yeah, the moon is revealing secrets. Another moon, so lots of secrets coming out. I do feel like you need to really ground your energy and ask Spirit for help, protection, clarity, things like that, because It's about to leave a mark on the world. I do think some of you might need to be careful with your words because you might pop off at the mouth. You might say things that you wouldn't normally say. Someone's about to verbal vomit their feelings because they're afraid of losing the person that they want to spend their life with. I feel like another person is manifesting their way into or out of a situation, marriage, or relationship. And I feel like Temperance and Justice being out here, Spirit's about to rectify the situation and put you where you're supposed to be. I do think that some of you have a wish fulfillment and a manifestation coming in. For some of you, it's about getting out of a situation, and for others, it's about finding the love that you actually want. Lots of changes going on. Be prepared for change. Have a great week.